Hello all, I am Dr. Yashwita, Medical Officer. On behalf of District Ayush Officer and all Medical Officer and staff of Ayush Department Dakshin Kannada, I would like to explain regarding Ayurveda Dinacharya in a simplified way so that you can adopt it in your daily life. As you all know, there is a rise in non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes mellitus, cardiovascular diseases in the recent times. The reason behind it being sedentary lifestyle and stress. So, I request you all to follow these simple principles in your daily routine and enjoy a healthy life. These pictures depict the daily routine we need to follow in our life. Firstly, coming to waking up in the morning. So Ayurveda suggests waking up during the Brahma Muhurta. Here Brahma means knowledge and Muhurta means time period. So Brahma Muhurta is the time period to pursue knowledge. So according to International Journal of Yoga and Allied Sciences, during the pre-dawn period there is availability of nascent oxygen in the atmosphere. This nascent oxygen easily mixes with hemoglobin, forming oxyhemoglobin, which has the following benefits like it boosts the immune system, increases the energy level. Also, there is more secretion of cortisol hormone during the morning hours, which helps in the regulation of metabolism and also immune response. So, getting up early stimulates organs. So next is Ushapana. So main objective of Ushapana or intake of water is to hydrate thirsty body in the morning with water. In this therapy, one should take at least 1 prasriti or 1.4 liters of water before sunrise. So it should be taken without cleaning the mouth, brushing or even taking anything. Lukewarm water can be taken during winter season. So it is advised that the water stored in a copper vessel during the night should be taken for better results. So this will help you in proper evacuation also, and it stimulates the stomach and kindles the digestive fire. A journal of clinical endocrinology and metabolism reveals that drinking 500 ml of water increases metabolic rate by 30% in both men and women. Further, this increase in metabolic rate was observed within 10 minutes of drinking water, and it reached a maximum 30 to 40 minutes after drinking the water. So the effect was sustained for more than an hour. This shows the importance of a glass of water. So Ushapana helps in proper defecation, that is elimination of the stool. If there is a proper daily elimination, good health is simpler to attain. So it's very important to train the body to have a daily elimination. Dantadhavana, it is nothing but brushing your teeth. So brushing your teeth helps in removal of the vitiated kapha dosha and also a bad odor. It increases immunity and helps to prevent diseases of the tongue, teeth and the throat. Ayurveda recommends use of twigs with astringent, bitter or pungent taste like karanja, babul, mango twig, etc. So it's very important to cleanse your sensory organs like washing your hands, brushing your teeth, washing your eyes and scraping your tongue, etc. Jighva Nirlekan or tongue scraping. The Ayurveda daily routine highly recommends that you scrape your tongue after brushing the teeth every morning. It's called as Jighva Nirlekan. This gives you 4 major health benefits like it removes the plaques accumulated on the tongue, helps in better sense of taste, improves digestion and helps eliminate bad breath. Ayurveda recommends a clean chewed out twig of any of the common trees having kashaya rasa properties like neem, babul and banyan for their added antibacterial and gum strengthening properties. So Anjana is nothing but application of herbal collyrium to the eyes. So Ayurveda advocates use of herbal collyrium for maintenance and also treatment of various eye disorders. It has both preventive and therapeutic benefit. So this Anjana is applied in the lower lid from inner canthus to the outer canthus. So Nasya Karma is a Panchakarma therapy where the medicine is administered through the nose either in the form of ghee, oil, powder, liquid or smoke. It's particularly useful in the treatment of diseases occurring in the organ situated above the clavicle, but indirectly it works on the whole body by improving the functioning of the endocrine glands and the nervous system. Nasa is said to be the main doorway to the Shiras. So, any medicine which is administered through Nasa or the nose reaches to the brain or the Shiras via nasal route and acts on higher centers of the brain, controlling different neurological, endocrinal, and circulatory functions, and thus showing local as well as systemic effects. Kavala and Gandusha. Here, filling the mouth with liquids fully, not permitting any movement inside, is a procedure called Gandusha, and Kavala is taking liquid into mouth and moving it around by gargling for a specific time is Kavala. So, in Kavala, it's a technique where a tablespoon of oil, usually sesame or coconut, is swished in the mouth for 10 to 20 minutes. It promotes dental hygiene and increasing energy. Oil pulling is an ancient yet current health benefit. So oil pulling, how is it done? This is a technique where a tablespoon of oil, usually sesame or coconut oil, is swished in the mouth for 10 to 20 minutes. In case of Gandusha, the specific oil is placed in the mouth and face should be kept a little high, and it should be kept in the mouth till sweating over forehead and secretions from the eyes and the nose is observed. What is the benefit of these procedures? It strengthens the teeth, gums, jaws. It prevents diseases of the teeth, gum, oral cavity, pharynx like cavities, gingivitis, halitosis, etc. Prevents dryness of the lips, mouth and throat. Increases appetite and helps in identification of taste by stimulating the taste buds. Dhumapana. It is a procedure of inhalation of herbal smoke which used for both preventive and therapeutic purpose. It's very helpful in balancing kapha and vata doshas in the body. Smoke should be inhaled from the mouth and then from two nostrils alternatively. In all cases, smoke is exhaled through the mouth. It strengthens the sense organs, helps to maintain calmness of the mind. Diseases like cervical spondylosis, excessive sneezing, hoarseness of voice can be treated. So, if there is any query regarding these procedures, you must consult an Ayurvedic physician. Abhyanga. It is a very common term which you all must be knowing, but Abhyanga is not mere massaging of the body. It is a technique which when followed has both physical and psychological benefit. You have to perform an Abhyanga or an oil massage on the scalp, forehead, temple, hands, feet and the rest of the body for your organs to function well. A daily massage can help keep your body strong and prevent you from premature aging. It's done in Anuloma, that is direction of the hair growth, to prevent damage to the hair roots. Circular movements in the joints facilitates lymph and the venous drainage. Murda Taila or applying oil. So Vyayama. Anything that brings about tiredness to the body is called Vyayama in simpler terms. So this exercise of Vyayama should be done till one's half strength. When a person starts feeling as if his breath is coming out of his heart level, it indicates he has reached up to half of his original strength. Then the exercise should be stopped. Regular exercise can be a yoga, it can also be meditation or pranayama. All this will help to improve the strength and endurance. Meditate for some time in the day to keep in peace with your mind. Perform pranayamas and breathing exercises. All this will help to overcome lethargy and improve your work efficiency. It improves concentration and reduces stress levels. It prevents insomnia. As you all know, many people suffer from reduced sleep. So a regular amount of exercise helps us to prevent this insomnia. It increases strength and makes the body strong. Longevity and health is obtained. So balanced food, regular exercise and timely sleep form the triad of healthy life. Regular exercise not only makes the body strong but also is good for the mind. It makes one's mind strong and prepares one to tolerate the pain. So exercise is essential for proper brain functions from birth until one gets old. Ayurveda is such a beautiful science that it has explained what is the importance of bath and also the dress we wear, etc. So it tells us that before we take a bath, we should wash our hands and feet. We should always wear fresh clothes after bath. Bathing is contraindicated just after taking the food because it reduces the digestion power. Bathing also helps to remove fatigue, perspiration and drowsiness. Vastradharana or clothing. The dress we wear should be clean and comfortable. This promotes happiness and also longevity. Ayurveda also mentions regarding wearing of precious ornaments, and it is believed to bestow purity and good fortune. Ahara or intake of food is a very vast aspect in Ayurveda. So here I'll be mentioning some of the important points. So coming to breakfast, what should you have in a breakfast? The food should be warm, nourishing and wholesome. So our body will be depleted of all the nutrients as we do not have any food in the night. So a healthy breakfast every morning is very important for the body to function well. Skipping breakfast is one of the prime reasons why people put on weight. Also, skipping breakfast in the morning will leave us depleted of energy, lethargic, grumpy and irritated. The heaviest meal of the day or the lunch should be taken between 12 noon and 2 pm simply because the sun is the strongest at this time and so is our digestive fire. Having lunch at this time helps digest the food properly. Skipping the lunch or having late or irregular lunch is a primary reason for many metabolic disorders. It's also considered to be a good practice to walk a few steps which will aid in digestion. Ayurveda strictly prohibits sleeping during the day. Exceptions are made only for the deceased and during the summer season. Ayurveda recommends that our dinner to be taken at least 3 hours before bedtime. Also, it should be lighter than the lunch. By having our dinner by about 7 pm, we allow our body to digest the food that we have eaten before we go to sleep. This helps prevent the body buildup of ama or toxins in the body. Undigested food is what turns into ama and hence it's strongly recommended to have an early dinner. These are just a few points regarding food. Ayurveda also mentions that you shouldn't take food too hurriedly or very slowly, and we shouldn't be laughing or talking loudly while taking the food, and we should take food with full concentration without watching TV or listening to music, etc. So we also should take food only when the previous meal is digested. Coming to sleep, Ayurveda strongly recommends sleep before 10 pm. This is the kapha time of the day, and the body naturally feels heavy and is trying to wind down. If we miss this time and are still awake, then we move into pitta time, or the time of intense activity, and sleeping will become that more difficult, and there will be cravings for food too. So people who complain of reduced sleep are the ones who stay awake beyond 10 pm. So we should get at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep every day. This will help the body to function well. Sleeping is a time during which our body performs several involuntary functions. Repair and rebuild takes place during sleep, and hence these functions are very important for our body to stay in shape and good health. So these are just a few points. These are few points regarding Ayurveda Dinacharya, and I urge everyone to follow this in your daily routine and enjoy a healthy life. A healthy lifestyle not only changes your body, it changes your mind, attitude and mood. Stay healthy, stay fit. Thank you.